Welcome back to Snekburd. Alright, yeah, last episode we beat level X, and then we got a sneak peek of level Y. So I suppose we will be doing that today. I think level Y has like an 11 length bird. Yeah, and our goal is to do something about it. I think it's a difficult version of one of the previous levels, I think. In the cloud land, I think it was 4. So yeah, it's a difficult version of this. And if I remember correctly, the way we're supposed to do this is... Oh wow, you actually can't go that far. Okay. So the way we're supposed to do this is, I think, something like a shape like this that pushes you up. No, I think you need to go higher. Like this? Yeah, push up, over, wrap around. And so that's how I remember doing it. And so today I think we're gonna have to utilize a different method or optimize the same method to get around on this. So yeah, there's definitely gonna be something different going on here, right? Okay, well firstly, on the sides... On the sides, there's some really interesting stuff going on. Each side is only one tall, one wide. So if I were to go from that side over there, which might be possible. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, I will be able to make it exactly. So on the left side, if the yellow bird were directly above... Okay. So what, do I need to gain 1 bit of height here? Yeah, and then I need to do that again here. So I need to gain 2 bits of height in total. The first bit of height... what is this? Okay, see if I can make it like this first. So clearly the method that we're using is probably no longer going to work. Well, it still might. Okay. So... how do I want to do this? I guess I want to start like this, I think. Yeah, so I can do this shape. I fall though, and I will die no matter what, because I always hit a spike when falling. Huh. Okay, is there any way I could have optimized this? If I did this instead. It's the same thing, but I survive. Okay, that's good. I probably want to do this in the other direction. Yeah, I probably want to do this in the other direction. Let's do that in the other direction. So I want to do something similar in this case. I kind of want... I want my head to be here though, right? Because I need to fall up by 1. Like this won't work. Yeah, can't move. I need to go up 1 more here. So this is fine, but how do I get this to happen on the other side? I guess that's the problem, right? Maybe parity-wise it's actually not possible. That would be really awkward if it weren't possible. I'm gonna fall. Yeah, but like my head is always going to be here, which is weird. I don't suppose I can fall down by 1, right? Like that doesn't really seem to be useful to me, I don't think. Oops. Okay. Well, may have made a mistake here. So, okay. Well, let's suppose then I did this this way? Can I actually survive doing this? Looks very unlikely. It kind of looks like I'm stuck here as well. Yeah. I cannot go here at all. Like, I could probably try and survive doing this, but I need a bit more space. Otherwise, I'm like out of space. I need 2 more bits of space here. I don't have 2 more bits of space. Unless I go down into here, which would not work. So, okay. Probably have to find another way to do this then. Maybe if I moved you... Yeah. Perhaps if I went like this... Oops. Okay. What is definitely not going to work? Like, clearly you can see that I don't have enough height here. I'm not close. Not at all. But why is that there? Why is that hole here? Is that useful? Does that allow me to flip my entire bird around? I wouldn't be so sure if it does. Like, doing this just results in the exact same problem as before we reset. Yeah. Like, I don't think there's any way to... wrap around here. I will just fall regardless, I think. Which is very unfortunate. It's kind of close, I think. Well, I got this, right? Yeah. But here it's not possible. Is it? It looks really bad, is what it looks like. Because I can't get this to... If I did this, though... I need to go up by 1. I thought I'm just doing the exact same thing. Ah, yeah, this fall doesn't work. So going 1 lower is a bit too much. It's a bit too far down. But the problem is, like, I can't do this, can I? Is there another way of doing this? Yeah, I need to go up by 2. Which clearly isn't possible here. So if it isn't possible here... I pushed down by 1 here, that's not good. I need to be able to do this. But to land on... Okay, let's try... what should I try? I don't know what I'm doing. This just feels finicky. Yeah, this works, but it's wrong. It's too far away. It needs to be on this space, which parity-wise just doesn't work. Like, I think parity-wise it just doesn't work. I'm not entirely sure if it works or not. I'm not sure if there's any way to, like, fix this. This looks fine, but isn't actually fine, I don't think. Am I somehow expected to gain height like this? Or move over like this? Is it possible? Is that too far? I think that might be too far. Yeah. If I could go a little lower, I would be fine, but I can't. Okay, is there any other way to gain height? Is there any variation of this? I wouldn't expect there to be any variation at all in terms of methods of gaining height. The idea is always the same, right? Oops. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Oh, right, this has to move. I forget. Would it have been possible if I pushed this down and then did something to help fix that problem? Yeah, maybe. I mean, no, it's the same problem still, right? Yeah, it's still the same problem. How about this? Won't I still fall? Yeah, it still falls and the problem still isn't solved. But how do I change that? Like, this always results in a fall as well. It's not good enough. There's just not enough height here. Is there any way to, like... I mean, it's very easy to change my direction when facing this way. But I don't want to do that. I want to change my direction on the other side. I want to change my direction when facing this way. I actually don't think that's possible. It might be if I went one lower. Actually, being one lower could be useful. Oops. Yeah. Well, no, one lower would have been useful, but the fall is bad, right? Yeah, we did this one. The fall is bad. Unless there's a better way of gaining height here, which I don't think there is. I can't remember what happens if I did this. Right, that's still a problem. Yep, nope, this doesn't work. Okay, reset. One wouldn't think this would be that hard if we already have the main idea, right? Unless there really is a second way of gaining height that looks completely different. This is so close to being right though. In fact, it would be right if I could just... Like, the prior step has to work, but this prior step does not work. Like, there must be a reason why I'm allowed to gain height here. There must be. Yeah, well, I'm just slightly off here, right? Yeah. It's like the same thing. Oh, this is too far down, right? I remember that. So how is it that I could put my head there? right above yellow bird. It's just how could I fit how could I fit 11 pieces into this square? Because right now I have that doesn't look very plausible yet. If I could put my tail like somewhere, fine, it'll be okay, I think. Parity-wise, just this does not work. Oh, slightly shorter, maybe? But I can't just be slightly shorter. Yeah, well, because my head and tail are different in this way, there's no way that can happen. I'm thinking if I can transfer from here to there. So like, if I could do a transfer, that would be very nice. I think that would actually work out for me. So let's try that transfer. The issue with that transfer is that my head and my tail are of the same color, which means that we'll never be next to each other. So my head has to be next to a different object. So, okay, let's go all the way back to doing this, I guess. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So maybe here it's fine. Right? Because I can do a transfer like... maybe like... this? That's a transfer. It's a transfer, but it's a really bad transfer because it gets me stuck. I can swap over like this, right? Yeah. So maybe upside down? Not good enough. I need it to be a bit higher, so how about this? That's a decent transfer, I think. That's a transfer. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, that looks great. Wait, I think we have it. Nice, okay. The transfer was good. I needed to basically be able to transfer from one character to the next by this move here. It's a bit hard to understand. I don't really understand the parity thing either, but we got it to work, so there you go. Like there. Okay, nice. Next stage, next part of the puzzle. Now, in theory, this should be repeatable, but clearly I don't think it is. They wouldn't put the same puzzle in here twice, right? Yeah, they wouldn't. Okay, so what's the difference now? How to get one more bit of height? Could I try and have this be? I just want to make sure I understand the bit about. Yeah, I need to make sure I understand this in case this is ever required in the later part of the puzzle. I think it might be, because that's how it usually is. Although if I were to guess, it would probably be a variation of that. Okay, but at least we got here, so we're good. Oops, don't do that. So like I want to flip again, right? I want to switch parities again here, maybe. So like, okay, now this clearly won't work because of that. If I went from the other side, it actually will work. I will have space from the other side, but it does mean I have to flip my parity one more time, which I think means... well, I can't flip here. There's not enough space here. So maybe I have to... yeah, maybe I have to flip... maybe it's the time for me to do the other trick here where... what was the other trick here? The tail sort of has to come from there, I think. That's not a transfer. That's not a transfer. This is nowhere near a transfer. Okay. So how about here? That looks decent. Okay, that sort of works, I think. Yeah, I can do this and try to and fall a little bit. Okay. Wait, I did the exact what? No, what did I no? I just did. I just flipped my parity twice. Which led to no change at all. So this is like, is this good? A little bit. The reason why is because it allows for the slight dip in height. But obviously I can't perform that same trick here. Right? Yeah. Okay, so what's my goal again? My head needs to be here with the bird here, but my head needs to be facing the other way. That looks a bit challenging to pull off, actually. So my head needs to be facing left while one down from its current position. It needs to be able to move up as well at that point, which actually means that we have very little space to work with here. Very, very little. Like, a lot of my body has to be up here, which doesn't really make sense, I don't think. So some other way has to exist. How about from here? Yeah, how about from there? Does this actually... Oh, this looks slightly different. That looks very different. Okay, hold on. Let's do a little bit of a change here. Okay, well, no, this is wrong. Oops. Something like that, right? I need to be able to move a little bit. If I did this, it would have space. But then, obviously, I'll be stuck, so... No, the hole has to be, like, here. But clearly that's not possible with my current amount of space. How about this? That looks bad. That looks really bad. Right, there's an extra fall. So clearly we're having problems. Right, the problem is that I want to have the bird be on a later part of my body. But this thing that's gonna stand on it's a very end of my body. I need it to be a little early. I need it to be resting on like the midpoint of my body at the very least, I think. Right now if I try it. Yeah, I don't think it's actually possible in this space. But it looks decent, I think. As an idea. Maybe. There has to be some other way of doing this. How many ways are there of gaining height? Okay. So like, I don't think this helps, right? I don't think this helps at all. This is so congested. No, definitely not going to work. But Is this good? No, this is definitely not good. Not even in normal terms. For gaining height. Again, the resting point has to be a lot earlier into my body than whatever this is. So the resting point has to be. Well, that's kind of why I considered like this, using that. But no, that's definitely not possible at this stage. Maybe it's possible if I did this. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to be able to push up as well. It's like... Oops. This is not good at all. There has to be... I don't know if it's a second way of getting height here, but... It might be a second way of getting height here. Because, like, our initial setup very clearly does not make much sense in this context. Like, I don't know if I'm expected to put my head here with the rest of my body up there. That just doesn't look possible. But I just don't see it. I do not see it. So we have to find some other way of gaining height here. Another self-flying machine. Oops. Okay, if I could... Like, ideally the bird is where? Here, right? And then I did this trick here. Yeah, I can sort of see that. Okay, so what if I kind of scrunched myself up so I could fall like this freely? The reason why is because I realize at this point, I can't move down here, so I want there to be nothing below me at this point, right? If all my snake was down here, in this column, that would be fine. So I think maybe I might need to, like, shape myself in such a way that isn't such a problem. Okay, if I went one further, I can actually fall here. The point is that, okay, if I went all the way back to when I came in here, I actually do have a lot of space up here to fall, right? Well, not really. Like, this... Okay. So I think it's more so I want to kind of, like, jump over here. No, I don't think it makes much of a difference, yeah. There's always going to be this one tile gap here that's not going to work out. What am I doing again? Right, I need to fall. So this fall isn't gonna work because like this middle bit over here catches, which is not going to work. Otherwise it would be fine, I think. Otherwise I could like probably pull off some cool stuff. What if I did this? Can wrap around like so. Yeah. Well, I mean, this looks very risky. This looks like I can't get back on the bird. Okay, let's not do that. Kinda want another transfer, don't I? What was I doing again? This. This looks... I don't know, this doesn't look good at all. Okay. So the goal is to yeah, go down here without having anything block me. So a lot of my body has to be down there. I was thinking if I could just like loop down and go back up, this would be fine. But the problem is that the flying bird's on the wrong side. You know, and I can't really go down here and also have that bird hold me up at the same time. Yeah. So close. Yeah. What if I did like this? Try to wrap around? I don't know. Try to wrap around like so, I guess. What am I doing? I thought I'm making the same. I'm doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. So once again, the trick is the goal is to not get anything stuck there. This fall won't work at all. Even if I went all the way back at the start, there's one bit of my body here that just will snag onto the spike. So I can't fall. I can't fall by 2, I mean. Maybe falling by 2 also doesn't work. For some reason I have to fall by more than 2 or something. I guess at this point I can fall by 2 again. This falls by 1. And it gets me stuck. Yeah. And that fall by 1 is quite bad. Oof. Yeah. There's very little I can do here. I mean, I think getting here, like, in this position is definitely right. I don't think there's any other way I could have gotten here. I don't know when the actual setup starts. If I try going up here, then I will fall like this. But yeah, there's no way I can avoid this thing here unless you're 1 higher, which I'm pretty sure is not possible. Pretty sure it's not possible to get you 1 higher. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not. So yeah. Like, if I tried to pull this trick off here, would I get stuck? Would I get snagged? Possibly. Let me just do the math here. Yeah, I would definitely get snagged by the spike down here, this spike. So there must be some other way of doing it then. But I don't remember there being any other way of doing it. If there was, I've only ever found one. Yeah, we're not going down there, are we? No. No, we're not. Okay, sorry. Went a little delusional there for a second. I'm just gonna... confused? I guess. So, yeah, there must be another setup to gain height. I wonder if I should go back to star 4. Since, okay, we remember how to get here to this point, right? I assume so. I assume we know how to get to that point. If we don't, I can just rewatch a video. But we now need to devise a second method to gain height. I don't know what that method is supposed to fit in, but there must be some other method to gain height, right? So like, Let's say I did this fancy trick where like a lot of my body is kind of just falling a little bit. This will allow me to do this stuff. But overall, the problem is that this looks fine. But I will fall, and there'll be a 3x3, a 3 wide region that will cause me to not work. Like, unless I can move right here, that's not going to work. If I went back to exit the level and just look at level X again, or Y, or whatever. Yeah, this prevents the 3 wide fall. The 2 wide fall that was required here is kind of okay, I guess. It's workaroundable, but only because I managed to somehow wrap myself around here. Let's see, remember how to do it. Like this. Yeah, like that. That was actually really fast. But yeah, because I can do this, I can manage to 4x1. Because I have 2 white at the bottom. So it feels like that's what they want from me over there as well. But we realize that this entire setup requires a 6x3 rectangle that I can fit in, basically. I need to fit in this 6x3 rectangle. And so if I were to look for the best 6x3 rectangle there, the best 6x3 rectangle there is, well, it goes from this corner to this corner. That's the best looking 6x3 rectangle I can find. So like, I need to find a way to gain height at all. Just at all. Within that space. I wonder if I can demarcate a little space here that I can try and use, but... Okay, so going back to our original method of doing this, right? How much space do we actually use? Yeah, this is the 6x6, but the 6x6 has its two, like, the two edges, the two top and bottom edges of the 6x6. Those are the two white things I need to use, right? In this case, they're on the same side of this rectangle. They're both on the left side. But there must be some way to make it so it's not both on the left side, like here. And then I can 4x1, but this doesn't work. So I need this shape to somehow survive. But like, there's no way. Is there? I need to devise a method that utilizes this shape. Possibly not like with a snake in this like orientation. Could be in a different position. A different shape. It's the same shape, but different position. We know, like, what do we know? This doesn't help. Doesn't do anything. Yeah, well, this doesn't work either. If I went down here instead. Oh yeah, then we get the massive problem of just... I need to push against the tail of my own tail, because that's the only way I can actually get an upward movement while still balancing on the bird. So like, you're kind of expecting me to put my tail where now? Here? Is that even valid? I mean, that looks valid actually. It looks possible. It kind of looks possible, yeah. So, okay. So like this then. I need this shape. Wow, that actually works. That's a shape that works. Okay, is that doable back at level Y? Good question. Let's see. So how do I do this again? I had to basically be able to put my tail like so, transfer, perform the trick right now. Oh, move. There you go. Alright, here, is it possible? So I need to do the opposite of what I did. I think that's actually possible. When I gained height previously... Okay, so you want my tail where my head is right now. Okay. Wait. Oh, but the problem still stands. I need to... Okay. That's the problem. A lot of my body is blocking my way. But if I went down at this point, I would actually be fine, I think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll be fine if my tail were not in the way. Wait, what? Yeah. Okay. I can sort of see how doing this might be fine. So if I had gone up at perhaps like this point, maybe? Oh, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Hold on. Okay, so what I want? I should really have taken a screenshot of that trick. So like I want my tail where my head is right now. Then I will do the big thing over here and wrap around, right? Yeah, that's what I remember. Yep. But a lot of my tail is missing. A lot of my tail is in the way. If I went down here, I could make my tail go down this column, which is my goal, right? Yes. Okay. To do that, the tail either ends going straight down or wrapping around. Okay, we have some issues, I guess. Like this clearly won't work, I don't think. No, okay. I still need one more trick to get to this, to be able to do this, right? The trick with the previous one was to... Yeah, maybe we'll fall 2 at this point, so... No. Same problem here. Okay. Now my tail is still blocking the way. How to prevent that? No. Oh, my tail is still blocking the way. Yeah, a lot of my tail is still blocking the way. That's kind of the big problem. I can't really resolve right now. I need to survive. What do I need to survive here? How to get the tail out of the way? Out, move, please. How? How do I get the tail to be vertical here? It's like I kind of have to like go here and then be able to fall. It just doesn't look possible. Because you'd be then... What would you be asking me to do then? Yeah, huh? You'd be asking me to fall by 2 at this point, and then falling by 2 just isn't possible. Falling by 1 is hard to get out of as a situation. So, what is it? What is this fancy trick that I need to know? So I did a parity trick just now. I did a transfer, right? Is a transfer possible here? Looks tough. The main reason being that this spike is kind of in the way. A transfer almost definitely requires a 3x4. Yeah, see, because like without this 3x4, the yellow bird has nowhere to move for this transfer to happen. And a fall is very hard to avoid. Like, this kind of thing is also very hard to avoid, which is why, like, I almost suddenly want this bump here. I mean, even if I could avoid this fall, I can't avoid the fall down here. Always be a fall that kills me. So... okay. What was that one flip that I managed to do at this point? This flip. I should do a flip like that. Yeah, even with a flip like that, like, I can't go down. It's just not possible to go down. I don't have enough space, it's... okay. Go there, go there, go there. Oh, what am I trying to do? I'm gonna have to remind myself every single time what exactly I'm trying to do. Just be here without the tail in the way. But tail is always in the way. Can't avoid that. Like, one way I remember avoiding it was kind of doing a shape like this. But yeah, I mean, it kind of works, but you fall, which is the problem. The big problem is that you fall. And the fall is bad, and you always will fall. There's just no way to avoid it. And of course, the transfer is no longer possible here from, you know, literally what I just said. So how in the world is this ever going to be doable? This is wrong. This is really bad. Ah, there's one more trick, isn't there? There's just one more trick. There's just one more trick. What is it? What is this trick? I'm really close, I think. I think I'm close. I don't know how close I'm actually. I don't think I see it. I don't think I can see it. Is this enough? Ah, this is still short. I suppose if I did this, then it will be somewhat enough. It will kind of be the same problem. It will kind of be another problem because I have to use extra length here. So like, now I think I have something closer, but I still need to save 2 bits of space. And 2 bits of space is, those 2 bits of space, I don't know how I'm gonna fit them. I don't know how I'm gonna save it. Like, yeah, I need those 2 bits of space to be folded down, which seems a little bit more plausible now, right? It looks slightly more doable now because I'm closer than before, but it still doesn't look very easy at all. Like, perhaps there might be a way to, like, take a second pass at this. Maybe. This second pass doesn't feel very productive though. It feels the exact same as the, yeah, that's what I did before. It's the exact same. This horizontal line is just a big problem. This horizontal line I just drew. How do I get those to go away? So I need to start going up this way. And you go up even more. So like, what? Would you like me to... Would you like me to dip down and then come back up? That? But how is this bird gonna help? How is this bird going to survive this? Like, oh, what? Yeah, that's not gonna work. This did not help, okay. Yeah, if I were too longer here, I could have already been down there, but no, this length of snake, why am I so long? I'm so close. I don't know what it is I'm missing. At what point could I have saved this length instead of having to use it? Well, I probably could have done that from the very beginning, couldn't I? Yeah, I probably could have done that from the very beginning. I don't think I can save that length from the very beginning though. That length seems to be there from the very start. So there must be a secondary intermediate step to help with that, right? Like even an L shape at this point. If the thing just went down here and this way, which means I would only need to dip down by 1 and then perform whatever I did. If the yellow bird could be on the other side now, I think it would work perfectly. But it just can't because the yellow bird is... I don't know what a yellow bird is, but... How do I do that? I guess if I did this, maybe? No? If I wrapped around a lot further? I mean, this is always gonna run out. The yellow bird... Oh, I can't get on the yellow bird anymore. That's a problem, like... To even begin this trick, I will need to put my head on yellow bird at some point here. So if I went back and I kinda wrapped myself around like this, so the yellow bird can pass through. It's not gonna work. Yeah. Like, it would also work here, I think. If I could fall, but I can't fall, I'm not allowed to fall. Close. We have a lot of close answers, I think. Just now that might actually... If I had gone over like so... The problem is that the flip has to be here, which doesn't let me go down. I could do this, I guess, but I'm no longer on top of the bird, which I need to be. This is not close, this is equally far away. However, if I fell here, then no, it's the same problem. Then I move down, the bird is still on the wrong side. Okay, I don't know why I thought that would have done anything better for us. I suppose instead of... this movement doesn't help. Like, I just lost a lot of height. Maybe it's fine to lose a bit of height? I don't see how it's fine to lose a bit of height though. That bird is in the wrong spot. Also, this thing is in the wrong spot. Hold on. Yeah. It's like here. Can't move down anymore because apparently my tail is still in the way. Like it's even more in the way now. How do I get this? How do I get this to work? I feel close. I feel way too close for this to be wrong. Right? No, there have been times where being super close was really far from the actual solution. But I don't think this is one of those times. I think this is actually really close. There must be just some one thing that I'm missing that I can't find. How? If not 4x2, then how? Because yeah, this single spike here prevents my falling by 2. 4x2 is really interesting. I think falling by 2 actually saves it, really. If I could 4x2, I'll be done, I think. Because my tail would form that L shape that is required to save me. The problem is I can't 4x2, but can I change that? Like it's like I would want this to happen, but instead of the initial bump like this, it's a bump that looks like this. But if I did this, then Yellowbird can't traverse under me. Unless my tail was there. What if instead it looked like my tail here? I wanna like wrap around like this and move down. Okay. Like this? No, that's bad. Wait, so okay, again, back to where we were. What shape did I want? I wanted this shape, right? Plus a bit of tail underneath. If oops. If it were like this, my tail was underneath, I still want to be able to traverse. Oh, parity is a big issue right now, right? Yeah, parity is a big issue. Even if my tail were on the other side of the bird, yeah, even if like the purple tail were in front of the yellow bird, it wouldn't be able to traverse. It would be able to traverse here though. That's actually really interesting, because at this point traversing is fine. Oh, okay. So... okay, so I think I could probably do something like this. That's way too short, okay. This. No, but I'm stuck. Because what do I want? I want this plus the ability to move over, so like... I want this. 4x1. 4x1 is not good. Okay. I think I have some idea. So it's like I want this, right? And then I want that tail to be flipped. That tail portion can be flipped if I came from below. It's like here, but the problem is I always get stuck. There must be nothing to my right, but if there's nothing to my right, then obviously the Yellowbird doesn't have anything for... like, there's no portion of my body that the Yellowbird is supporting. So that's a paradox. I need there to be nothing on my right, but the Yellowbird needs something on my right. So that can't work. Okay. Is there a way for Yellowbird to have been somewhere else? Possibly. Yeah, okay, what if I kind of use this portion here? I fell a bit. That looks That looks less okay. The point is that I want to be able to dip down by 1 here, but now that a lot of my body's there, it's just not possible to dip down by 1 there. Okay. So, okay, back to the... I need to like keep reminding myself of my goal because the shapes are very convoluted. This is the shape that I want. Tail length flipped over. Tail length flipped over allows Yellowbird to traverse under my body. Yeah. To get tail length over like so. Okay. What if I try another way of doing this? Tail length is too much. I need to go up after this point, but I can't go up. I need to fall a bit first. Which means that at this point I'm pretty sure it's not possible. It has to have been this point, which is a lot... I kind of slide along the wall here, which gives me a little bit more assurance because that looks a lot more intended based on how the walls work. But here I can definitely see that it's not gonna make it. Right, perhaps if I were able to do this... But then again, it's the same problem. There should be nothing above yellow, but there must be something above yellow. So, what is it? It's neither. Does that mean that this transfer is straight up impossible? The reason why the previous transfer worked is because after the transfer, the purple head had somewhere to go. Which now it does not. Except down. But down is clearly bad. I don't know why I even considered that. Right? It's bad, right? I don't know, is it bad? It's probably bad. Yeah, it's definitely bad. It undoes all our progress by pushing it down by 1. Okay, well, if I did this, I wouldn't be long enough. If I did this, I might be long enough, but there are a couple more issues. I feel like we're back to the original problem. Aren't we? We are, right? Yeah, we're back to the original problem. Okay, hold on. So, back here... I kind of forgot. Oh yeah, I remember the reason I wanted to do this. The reason why I do this is so I can fall by 2. Yeah. There needs to be 2 gaps of space between this section of body and the spike below it. Okay, I remember. Okay. Well, there are other ways to get there, I think. I think there are other ways to get there. Okay. So I kind of want this... and then a fall this way. Okay. Can I flip this entire thing around? I think I can. If I did this, I can flip this around. The goal... is to go over... Oh, we're gonna have the exact same... The goal is what? I want this U band over here to fall by 1, right? So like... It's like... Whatever is... Could I have performed that over here? Is there any point in performing that over here? I mean, I don't see much difference compared to here. Like, it's the exact same actually in terms of space. We get the exact same amount of space in both cases. If I wanted this to happen, yeah, it's not gonna work. If I got that to happen here, then we will get this left-facing segment down by 1. Which is good, I guess. Problem is that if we try to do that, like so, we kind of meet the exact same problem going backwards. It's just the only way to be able to fall by 1 with this step is to have some segment here which will completely defeat the purpose of the, you know, the thing. Yeah, it defeats the entire purpose. Well, I feel like I don't know what I feel like. I don't feel very. I feel like I'm close. I don't know. I feel like I should definitely end the video at this point because I know I'm going nowhere with this. But I feel so incredibly close that I don't want to give up yet. Fortunately, I probably will remember the solution to get to this point, but unfortunately, I'm not sure if I will be able to get past this point. So what are you asking me for? Hold on. Question, yeah, what are you asking me for? What is it asking me for? It's asking me for this shape. What am I asking myself for? That shape. I mean, isn't that shape doable? Is it doable? Uh-oh. Well. Yeah, no, I get stuck. It's the exact same problem. Why am I doing this? It's like, what? I want a shape like this, right? But of course, I can't do that because I would fall into the spike. So can I avoid that? Maybe. But how do I avoid that? Yeah, I wanna dip down. That's the reason why I like had this much empty space here. Is that when I turn around I can dip down, but like clearly there's something wrong there. Okay, well, what if I were on the other side? I wrapped around like this. Oops, don't do that. And I did this. That looks maybe better. If I didn't do that, if I went down here instead. The fall still happens, doesn't it? The fall still happens. It almost doesn't happen. But I will still fall and not work. So can I save myself? Or will I always be forced to fall in some way? I think I will be always forced to fall in some way. Unless I did this, I guess. Which I think actually works. This is fine. Huh, this is fine. Oh, wait. Am I close? Ooh, wait, hold on. Oh no, but yeah, okay, see, I still have a tail segment here. So I can do this. Wait. Oh, but I've lost another tail. So I wanted this. Oh, wait, but that's fine. Wait, I think I've done it, right? But I wanted this. Yeah, this is the exact shape I wanted. How did I get here? Wow. That is the most intricate setup I've ever had to do with a set of snakes. But this fall of 2 finally works. And now, I believe I can do this. Oh my goodness. I worked backwards so far. And this trick finally works, right? Yep. Finally works. Okay, meaning that, yes, bird can traverse this way, and I think I'm done. Oh, that was tiring. Yeah, that was it. 4 tricks. 4 separate tricks that I needed to learn to solve this puzzle. Wow, okay. So the 4 tricks are obviously the 2 different ways to get height. They're not too different, but yeah, I had to spend time to figure out the second one after finding out the first one. The other one, the third trick was the parity swap at the very beginning of the level to make sure I was facing the right direction. And the fourth trick was, of course, trying to get the right shape to make sure I can fall by 2 safely. Wow, that was tricky. But I think we're done. There you go. Well done. Yeah, this is the longest Snekburd episode, but so happy that we got done with Y. Alright, I'm gonna leave Z a surprise for next episode. I don't think I've ever seen Z yet. I don't remember if I ever have, but I don't think I have. But I think that's gonna be it for this episode. That's definitely gonna be it for this episode. Until next time though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.